Is our education inclusive? Is there a discrimination in our education policy? Dear fellow Singaporeans, my name is Logan. I am one of the candidates from PSP in West Coast GRC. Plato said, "The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future." Do all our children start on an equal footing, or do they begin their education based upon their social classes in Singapore? Under the Compulsory Education Act, any Singapore citizen born after 1st January 1996 and living in Singapore must attend a national primary school unless an exemption is granted. This was indeed a noble policy stance, as it ensured that every single child born as a Singaporean would receive a good start in education. But now ask yourself, after 24 years, do all children have equal footing when they enter primary school? Over the last 24 years, lots of development and growth has occurred in the early childhood education sector. Majority of our children attend PCF kindergartens, but a lot of children from the higher income class go to high quality kindergartens which have greater rigor in not just cognitive development but also social and emotional development, all three of which are known to bring about lifelong benefits. Especially with PSLE, which streams our children at such a tender age, early education becomes all the more important. Children only have 6 years to prepare for what some might consider the biggest exam in their lives. Differences in the access to well as quality of early education will determine how large their school readiness gap is, and therefore affect their performance and confidence in school. Studies have shown that increasing their access can only do so much, like increasing the rates of school completion and to some extent employment rates. But studies have also repeatedly emphasized that unless the quality of childhood education for the children from lower income families is on par with that of privileged children, will there be better social mobility. Recently, Ms. Chen Li Hui, MP in Tampines GRC, asked about the statistics on children who have not received childhood education in Singapore, and the written answer to her was as follows. Rather than a broad policy of compulsory education at the preschool years, our approach is to ensure the provision of accessible, affordable and good quality preschool services with proactive outreach and targeted assistance for those from more disadvantaged backgrounds. But the current system after 24 years has not been able to achieve that. I believe that only with compulsory and cheaper and better quality childhood education is the best way to level the playing field for the next generation and promote social mobility. One's parents' wealth or lack of should not be a factor in determining how much that child is able to achieve in Singapore and how much that child can improve his or her future. As long as one is willing to work hard and not give up, there should be pathways for them to move up the ladder. Education is not something that should be left to organizations to develop on their own free will. Today we have many organizations providing such services. Based on my own experience, I sent my 3 daughters to a church kindergarten. Between a choice of an affordable PCF kindergarten, I chose the former because I believed that I wanted my daughters to have sound value system, rather than only focusing on just building a good foundation in literacy and numeracy. But we need to recognize that not everyone is able to do this, and that is what is wrong with the system. My daughters were lucky. Yes, they happened to have a mother who is a teacher and a father who was always interested to learn how people learn, which made us sacrifice a little bit more to get them into the schools that they went to. Education should not be left to chance or one's socioeconomic status. The government must provide a systemic way of educating all children via a comprehensive and high-quality education system from as early as 4 years old for an affordable fee, not anything above $100. Our current system discriminates against those with lower incomes. Discrimination of any kind is wrong. and it's even more so when it comes to our children's education. I reiterate what Plato said. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future. You deserve better. Choose PSP to make better policies that will benefit our children and grandchildren. For country, for people. Thank you.